Tonight, City West Hotel plays host to the most glittering event in the business calendar. 24 finalists will be acclaimed for the vision that they have shown in building successful enterprises. But only one can walk away with the ultimate title, the Entrepreneur of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for the evening, David McWilliams.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the 2009 Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. Now, the past year has been bruising for all of us, but particularly for Irish business. And we've all come to terms with the present, which is filled with unprecedented challenges. But tonight, we're going to concentrate on the future. And if Ireland is to recover, we need special leaders in business who have the conviction and the energy to fight back. Now, in this room tonight are 24 unique business leaders, and in less than an hour, one of them will be named the 2009 Entrepreneur of the Year. But if we are going to look to the future, what matters even more than tonight is not so much who's going to win this competition, but who's going to win the competition in 30 years' time. Where is he or she going to be found? And who will encourage that person to emerge from the pack? And that's the real reason that we are here tonight. Because when times are tough, our key responsibility is to provide the direction and the inspiration for those generations who are coming up behind us.
I was going to be an ice cream man, but then I changed to an inventor. And now I'm going to invent a 4-armed robot and a hovering car and a car that can go on any terrain and loads of other stuff that I'm working on.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing this, a flying rocking chair with a little thing for my lizard.
I could make, you know, like skates, and you can take off the wheels and put blades on. Yeah.
What kind of person is an entrepreneur? A busy person.
It may not yet be a core element of the national curriculum, but rest assured, the children of modern Ireland already know a thing or two about what it takes to make it as an entrepreneur.
I think it's fundamentally important to get children involved in the whole idea of entrepreneurship from a very, very early age. And so they're actually developing the interest that young people have in terms of business as a potential career opportunity. So yeah, I mean, I think it is fundamental for the next generation.
What the Entrepreneur of the Year programme does is celebrate entrepreneurship, identify great business people who build great businesses. What we're trying to do is inspire future generations, our children, to be entrepreneurs in the future. So instead of being a pop star or a footballer, a young person may very well want to be an entrepreneur.
But what exactly is an entrepreneur? What is it that makes them stand out from the crowd?
It's so hard to say the word. Entrepreneurs. They open up their own businesses and they have lots of great ideas and stuff.
They have ties and suits and briefcases.
I think entrepreneur is very rich. They even have like these big swimming pools.
Becoming an entrepreneur gets you a job, but it also gets other people a job, so it's a good idea.
I think entrepreneurs are those people that are best equipped, given their resilience, to actually identify opportunities and to overcome obstacles that have been presented in the current climate.
Even when they get a business up and running and make it into a success, even a global success, it's not enough for them. You find quite often that they exit and start another one just for the fun of it. And if people, it's that sort of zeal and drive is just not present in the vast majority of people.
In many ways, the media have had loads of opportunity to give bad news over a period, and to look at this type of award ceremony and see the amount of energy and the amount of opportunity, the amount of optimism, and you have to really feel this is the future. These are the people who are going to help Ireland get back on track.
Entrepreneur entrepreneurs. They're not like all bossy or anything. They're not like, oh geez, would you hurry up and everything, and they don't always ask like if they're getting paid a check, and they're not always like, oh, I want it in cash money. They're not like that. They're real polite and everything.
Tonight we'll be announcing winners in 3 categories: emerging, industry and international. Those winners will compete for the overall title of Entrepreneur of the Year. We're also going to be presenting a special jury prize for entrepreneurial excellence outside of traditional business spheres. Our nominees for this special award are Aidan O'Brien, the man who put Irish horses back on top of the world; Tony Scott, the man who founded the Young Scientists exhibition 44 years ago; and Morgan O'Sullivan, the man who brought Braveheart and the Tudors to Ireland. Now, joining us on the stage to help with the presentations will be Mike McCurr, Managing Partner of Ernst & Young, and our very special guest of honour. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand and give a warm Ernst & Young welcome to Uachtaráin na hÉireann, Mary McAleese, accompanied by her husband, Dr. Martin McAleese. Let's now meet our first 4 global go-getters. And they include an Oscar nominee, a sushi shark, a food scientist who passes every test, and a catwalk classics. Finalists in the international category, ladies and gentlemen.
Orla Kiley's name has become a recognised international brand in the fashion industry. She and her husband and business partner Dermot Rowan have seen spectacular growth in the past few years, but they're keenly aware of how difficult that success was to achieve.
It's very, very hard to grow a multi-million-pound business from nothing, and that's what we've actually done.
Fashion and design, it is hard to build a business. I suppose it's an endorsement that we've done something right, and in the business world, I think that's the most interesting part, because we've started from scratch.
It's nice that a creative brand has been able to grow and be recognised worldwide in such a way. I feel that Orla is a real ambassador for Irish design worldwide. We're very, very proud of her.
Hugh O'Donnell helped float the engineering firm Kent's on the London stock market in 2008. The company's phenomenal growth is a tribute not only to his leadership, but his belief in the people that drive the company forward.
Well, Kent's today is 11,000 people in 23 countries, and it started here in Clonmel, and it's expanded and exported its way all over the world. Especially working with international cultures, foreign countries. Everybody walks on the same ground. If you have the basic tenets of mutual respect for people, it's going to win.
Cathal Gaffney formed Brown Bag Films with his college friend Dara O'Connell in the mid-90s. An Oscar nomination in 2002 proved they had potential. A string of hit series on some of the biggest children's television networks in the world proves that they have the commitment to deliver on that potential.
We're now the oldest animation company in Ireland. I don't think we ever thought we'd be saying that, but it still feels like a start-up for us. It still feels like we've so much to do, and we're just after getting good at it, and we want to just do so much more. Really, to build a brand, Brown Bag, around the world as a children's producer.
Barry McCleary has turned his love of science into a lucrative business. His company Megazyme are now the world's leading international suppliers of food testing kits. A successful entrepreneur, Barry remains an enthusiastic scientist.
To be a scientist, you have to be committed and dedicated. You wouldn't do it for any other reason. And I hope I'm creating an environment here where people get a fair bit of pleasure out of what they're doing. I just feel that what I'm doing is worth doing. I feel what everybody here is doing in this team is worthwhile doing it. As an owner of a company, I'm very proud that we actually are a finalist. It's a great sense of achievement and satisfaction, so can't say any more than that.
Time to meet 4 more bright business brains who refuse to be limited by borders.
Kevin O'Leary's company QMAS lightens the load for highly regulated industries such as finance and pharmaceuticals. For one client alone, their compliance software will replace 7 kilometres of paperwork.
QMS is almost the definition of an international company. Almost 80% of our revenue is now out of the US. Most of the other 20% is across Europe, in Asia, South Africa, and really across the globe. It can be a lot of fun to try to get to them all. I think having the Irish cultural connection is certainly a benefit in 99% of the countries in the world. We leverage that, but it isn't the defining reason. Obviously, they buy for quality of product and people.
Former All-Ireland hurler Michael Earls spent years trying to design a perfect rubber mat for the agricultural market. Finally, with a successful patented design, he was able to establish a multi-million euro market for his company, EasyFix.
At the early stages of trying to develop the company, I mean, there was lots of pitfalls, quite frankly, and I fell into most of them. And I mean, it was just a matter of getting up and getting on with the game, if you like. The game on the pitch, off the pitch, it's the same thing for me. That's what I take pride in, the fact that I didn't give up. You know, there was days when I was beaten. You know, there were days when I look back and I said, you know, where to go from here. I don't know what it is even, but it was just a good feeling I had that this could work like it. And I suppose one other thing, really, if you work hard enough at anything, something will come out of it.
Tony Convery has travelled the globe with his company, CDE, as he and his team have installed washing equipment for the quarrying industry. It may not have always been easy, but no one said being an entrepreneur was easy.
Being an entrepreneur is about being passionate enough to believe yourself, to go on the journey that your body's telling you that your mind's telling you to take, and taking advantage of every good day and every wind in your back, and learning from heroic failures that you've had in the past and saying, not letting them bite you down.
John Power's company Aerogen produce nebulizers that are used in intensive care units in almost every country in the world. John believes that his dedication to innovation is shared by his team.
I think all of the people who work here, the girls, the guys working here, are entrepreneurial. That's what we try and encourage, to think outside the box, look at new ways of doing things. And I think to win something like the Entrepreneur of the Year award, I think it would be great for the company.
That's a sentiment echoed, I'm sure, by all our hopefuls. To announce which of them is going to be the winner this year of the international category, please welcome on the stage Enda Kelly of Ernst & Young.
Tonight's finalists show that Irish business has the talent and tenacity to compete and win at the highest level. And the winner of the International Entrepreneur of the Year is Hugh O'Donnell.
O'Donnell's global ambitions have extended a long way from Tipperary, for leading an Irish engineering company to win enormous contracts in a billion-dollar arena. Hugh O'Donnell is the 2009 International Entrepreneur of the Year.
The instruction said to put it down there, it weighs too much. I suppose I have to start by thanking the judges. I think you guys made a great decision. I have to thank my family and my darling wife, Finola, who puts up with me all the time. Yeah, we recently... You guys are eating into my 45 seconds, by the way. Yeah, we recently celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary, And one of our friends said to her, "How do you put up with your man going away all the time?" And she said, "Well, you know, the secret to success in long-distance marriages is we're married for 20 years, but we're only together for 6. For everybody in Kents all over the world, thank you so much. I couldn't do any of this without your support. Thank you.
Next we move now to the special award, the first one. Our first nominee is a man who brought William Wallace and Braveheart to this country and is himself an inspirational leader, battling for our indigenous film industry in the front line of one of the world's most competitive businesses. His entrepreneurial instincts have empowered generations of Irish creative talent to fulfil their commercial potential.
The first of this year's special award nominees is film and television producer Morgan O'Sullivan. Morgan has played a vital role in establishing Ireland's reputation as a key location for major Hollywood productions. Career highlights include landing the Mel Gibson epic Braveheart and the hugely successful television series The Tudors.
He fearlessly took off from Ireland and went to Hollywood and established this bridge between Hollywood and Dublin at a time when nobody else was doing it.
Morgan knew what it was like to be selling English language speaking product in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the United States, and he knew the industry.
The testament to him is the success of his latest venture, The Tudors, which is sold to almost every country in the world.
Look, everybody in the film industry and the television industry knows Morgan and knows what he does and knows the amount of work and the amount of money that he brings into the country. I mean, if it wasn't for Morgan O'Sullivan, The Tudors would not have been shot here. By Morgan bringing in The Tudors, he saved pretty much this studio, which is the only major film studio in the country, and saved it as a filmmaking nation. It certainly brings 30 to 40 million euro into the economy a year, and this economy can certainly do with it. Without Morgan O'Sullivan, it doesn't happen.
The person in the window from people looking from abroad was Morgan. Morgan was this person who had credibility internationally. He has credibility internationally.
He has brought so many jobs into Ireland, and he has taken the product and exported it around the world. He is a brilliant businessman. He is an entrepreneur.
Morgan O'Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen, there, a father figure for the Irish film industry. Now, join us after the break, where we're going to be marvelling at the entrepreneurial energy of horse trainer Aidan O'Brien, and we're going to meet an unsung hero who was talking about and set about building the smart economy when both Brian Cowan and Brian Lenihan were in short pants. Don't go away.